Now to a developing story. A deadly plane crash. This is in Wise County, northwest of Fort Worth, near an airstrip just north of Rome in the southeastern part of the county. It happened around 1:30 this afternoon. That plane crashed in an empty field not far from the small landing field out there. Now, what we have learned is that the plane is a 1936 Rose Parakeet single-engine fixed-wing aircraft. You can see it's a very small experimental type plane. The pilot, 86-year-old Dominic Pellegrino, was from Rome and died apparently in this crash. He was the only occupant. The FAA and the NTSB have been notified. They're on their way. They will conduct the investigation. State troopers were the first responders and did the preliminary investigation. We have learned that Pellegrino had just taken off and made one circle, and then his plane went down. An autopsy and federal authorities will determine if nearby storms were a factor in that crash.